Hello YouTubers, welcome to Johnny's NetSec YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Tenable Nessus into your low-end VPS using all-tool installation script. There's a lot of reasons why I choose Tenable. It's not sponsored by them. I just like to use Tenable. There's a free version and there's a lot of advantages to use it. They have a #1 coverage on the vulnerabilities. There's a #1 on the market, #1 for the CIS benchmark covered as well. Paid customer also leading, as mentioned, #1 market share. 0-day discovery also leading other vendors. I've been using Tenable Qualys, but not Rapid7, so I have both experience on Tenable Qualys. Now I fully changed to the Tenable platform now. I've been making a couple of videos to show you how to install Tenable Nessus free version and the expert version. If you haven't watched those videos, you can find out the video links in this video's description below. For this video, I'm more focused on to show you how to install on those VPS which has very low CPU, low memory, low hard drive. Such as this one, E2 Micro, I'm using just only have 1 GB RAM and most 1 core CPUs, 30 GB hard drive you can use. It's free, provided by Google Cloud. It's possible because based on hardware requirement, you will need 4 cores, at least 4 GB RAM and 30 GB hard drive, not including space used by operation system. The answer is yes, for sure we can do it. More than that, I want to simplify the installation process. If you look at the installation guide, you will need to download the package file and then you transfer it to your installation system and then issue the command. After that, you need to configure it. Same thing on the Windows. The configuration will need a lot of steps to go through the wizard and then wait until everything done, then you can use it. How about to using just one script to run it? Everything included in one script, you just put it in, let it run, you're done. Wait a couple hours, then come back, it will be ready for you to use. So if you are looking for these kind of steps to streamline the installation process on your low-end VPS, and you want to see how the performance looks like, how much CPU memory being used after installed, please keep watching until the end. Now let's start it. Just before the installation, I just want to make it clear, I'm not saying you don't need to follow the guideline and the hardware requirement from Tenable. What I'm doing is experimental for a home lab, just for fun, and I just want to test it. So whenever you really need to deploy it into a production environment for scanning, please follow the recommendation, follow the requirement, follow the installation step from the vendor Tenable. This is for my own research and own experiment purpose, not encouraging you to do this in any production environment. All steps shown in this video has been recorded into my blog post here, which shows you how to create your free tier Google Cloud Platform virtual machine and how to do installation, how the resource looks like during the installation, and after installation, how the settings looks like. At the end, you should be able to see the resource usage during the scan. You can find the link from the video description, and there's a GitHub repository to show you those scripts. The two versions, one for Ubuntu, one for Debian. The only difference is the installation package is different. Other than that, all processes are the same. So you do need a Google account, so you can create a Google Cloud platform's free tier VM. You can use other free tier VM from Oracle, from Microsoft Azure, but I'm using the Google Cloud. So it's the same process. Create instance. I'm gonna choose E2 instance, which is free. E2 micro. At the most, you can use 2 virtual CPU, but it's 1 shared core CPU here, 1 gig memory. For the boot disk, the free tier, you can use 30 gig hard drive, and we're gonna use Ubuntu. Doesn't matter it's which version, 2004, 2204, or 2404. All of them works. To make it simple, I'm using 2004 LTS version. Select that. We don't need to open the firewall, but it will be later on. And we don't need to install OPS agent. You can click it now or do it later. That's great. So the virtual machine is going to be created. Observability tab going to show you how the CPU memory going to be used. To use that, you do need to install agent on it. So later on, we're gonna install it from here. It's not necessary, it's optional. So the installation steps is really fast. It's running now, so you can connect to it using the SSH. So we got a public IP 34.30.6.46. That's the one we're gonna use. We're gonna use SSH to connect to the VM, so we can start our configuration. Authorize SSH in browser. Sudo -i, get into the root mode. Now it's ready for us to run a command. So you can see we don't have swap, but we do have 1 gig RAM, and we have 2 virtual CPU, 1 shared core on 1 shared core. The VM is ready to use, but there are a couple of things we need to do. We need to open firewall policy. The firewall will need to allow us to connect into the web GUI port, which is our firewall has to allow port 12345 used in this script. 12345 is the port number we're gonna access to. So in this case, we're gonna create that port in our firewall policy. From anywhere to the TCP port 12345. That's it. So that's firewall part. It's covered. Second thing I like to do is enable observability. Observability is something we can see the CPU, memory, hard drive utilization. So we don't need that since we want to keep an eye on how many memory and how much disk space being used. It's optional, you don't have to do, since we can solve those from a SSH session. But it's much easier if you enable it, you can see the historical data from here. So that's why I'm installing this agent. While it's installing, there's one more step usually I like to do. As I showed you, there's no swap space for this VM, so we may want to use the command to add 1 gig swap into your VPS. So that's what I'm going to do. The script gonna be put into the video description as well. You just need to add 1 gig swap file into your system just in case you need more memory. In this case, it's an optional as well, since I monitor it. It really not exceed 1 gig RAM for whole process. You can verify that to see this 1 gig RAM has been added. So that's all 3 steps you can do. Firewall port is must to do, but other things is optional. Now we're gonna using 1 line command to install our Tenable Nessus. Now OPS agent has been installed, so you can see the CPU usage and the memory usage, network traffic, disk space. So this is for last an hour, so we can make it like last 15 minutes. The CPU is going down to almost 0. Memory usage, it's less than, let's say, 15%. Little bit more network traffic. Disk size is only like 10% used. So that's current before we starting to install anything. Now let's go back to SSH in browser window. So you may want to update your system. So that's usually what I'm gonna suggest to do to reduce the chance you fail the installation. Just update your system to latest. It won't take more than 2 minutes to be done. Strongly suggest it. Well, after a couple of minutes waiting, so the update has been completed, then we can issue the command we need to run. So here is a one-line command we can use, which is put those 3 commands together to run. So basically, then enter. Now everything, including downloading, installation, and the configuration, will be automatically to be done. It will take up quite a bit time for you to be able to log into your web GUI interface. 30 minutes, and then just come back to check. There's a progress will show on the screen when it's reaching that updating the plugin stage. After that, you will have to wait another couple hours to get all plugins to compiled. So the whole process probably take 10-11 hours because of the CPU memory, at least low-end VPS limitation. So based on my calculation, you probably need to wait 10 hours to get a fully running tenant to starting to scan. But for getting to the web GUI interface, it won't take more than 30 minutes. It just finished downloading Nessus. It's installing the Nessus right now. Here you can see the listen and port is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We choose dark theme. Save checks has been turned off. The logs is set up the performance. Other like updates and telemetry data all been turned off. It's adding new user admin. The password is NetSec. So now it's downloading the plugins. Once plugin finishes, it's gonna install plugin. Once they've installed the plugin, they need to compile plugins for the Nessus. So that's the longest time you need to wait. I'm gonna leave the system to installing the plugin, and I will come back once the process done. After a while, it will get into this progress updating mode, which is compiling the plugins. So at this moment, you can see the progress is 13%. Until 100%, then we will be able to use Nessus to scan our target. For now, we should be able to get into our login interface and log in from there. Let's give it a try. As you can see, the memory isn't that much, so we can put the last an hour. So it's been an hour already. So it's 100% CPU because the compiling plugins does need quite a bit calculation. The memory utilization is sitting about 30%. Disk space is still 23. Once it's down, it's maybe sitting around 30%. Let's go to the web GUI. We copy the public IP address. Let's go to the port 12345. It's a bad request because it's HTTPS, so we will change it to HTTPS protocol. So now you get this notification page, warning page to say your certificate is invalid, certificate authority is invalid. That's fine, self-signed certificate from Tenable Nessus. So let's go to advanced and proceed to the website. Even it's unsafe, we know this is okay. So now we should be able to get the web GUI. This is our Tenable Nessus web GUI login interface. Username admin, password NetSec. You can change it after you logged in. I will show you how to do that. You can see here is some nodes. Plugins are still compiling. Tenable Nessus is not a function until the compiling process completely done. At this moment, it's around 14%. So as mentioned, it will take about 10 hours to get it done, 9 to 10 hours. So be patient because as you can see, our CPU is 100%. We don't have good CPU here for compiling process. But this is just one-time thing. So now we logged in, we can see settings. You will see the policy template version. It's May 24, 2024. Other update, license, all plugin set, activate all those and not available yet. You will see there's a circle turning here. If you hang over your mouse, you will see the compiling plugin is 15%, which is aligned with what we have here, 15%. Before that process been done, you won't be able to do the scanning. So if you try to create a new scan, it won't work. It doesn't allow you to do this. This new scan button is also not clickable. But the whole thing is ready for you to use. If you want to check it out, check it out. You also should be able to check scanner health. You will see some low data free space, low log free space, low temp free space. You can ignore them for now. And also there's a lot about the CPU memory which is not meeting the requirement. Also, yeah, you can ignore them. It should be okay. We know we have enough free space, so those high scanner alerts is not applying to us. It will disappear once you finish the compiling process. That's all for this video. The scanner is working, but you do need to wait a little bit time for the whole compiling process being done. Other than that, you've got a full functional Tenable Nessus. If you want to look at the other option, web application scan, attack surface management, or attack surface discovery, this kind of feature, you should be able to find my other videos to introduce how to install Nessus Expert in my channel, which you also can find from this video description. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, think this video is giving you some useful information, give me some up. Also, please subscribe my channel if you haven't. That will give me great encouragement to make more videos. See you in my next one.